Okay, now I'm making this video, right? And it's something I've been dealing with for a while, right? But this shit ain't got really, well, it gotta do with me, right? But I'm just the speaker right now, you know. Now, I've been talking to my ancestors and shit, right? Um, this ain't really no video. This is really a personal video, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna post it. So I'm not about to go deep into explaining anything like, you know what I'm saying, outside of what needs to be explained to the people it need to get to, which has to do with family. You know what I'm saying? Or people related in blood. Yeah. Okay, now all I know is in this dynamic, and this goes to people related in blood, right? I might post this on one of my social media, Instagram shits, Facebook, whatever. Right now, yes, I could talk to spirits. I could hear spirits. I could feel them, and I could see them. I haven't seen any in a while, right? But this right here, this is like the more immediate ancestors, right? Because when I you might think you know me because this I'm talking to this just to these people. You might think you know me, but you don't. You don't. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? Closest person I'm closest to is my mama, and I'm like, we hardly know each other. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been distant. That's my personality, though, right? I've only been close with like a couple people throughout my life, right? Now, I've had a lot of interactions with y'all, right? You know, had a lot of love and stuff, you know. But look, something going on, right? And it's going on a level to where you might not understand, and that's cool. I want you to understand, right? Because something's going on. These ancestors, right? Which would be my more immediate family. You know what I'm saying? Or like people related in blood. Now I'm like, okay, they're angry, right? Now these motherfuckers is angry and shit because some motherfuckers is playing games and shit. Very dangerous games. Very dangerous games. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm black. And it's even to some of, you know, the people I'm talking to, right? Because some of y'all don't know. Like, y'all know my mama and shit. But I say that to say, because, you know, both sides of my family from Watts and shit. I'm like, those this pertain to should know that, right? So I'm saying, you know, niggas don't really they think about like, that shit is weird. Spell work. That shit is weird. Talking to ancestors, that shit is weird. Doing a lot of this shit. Even though some of y'all do this shit on the low, right? Well, that's what I'm talking about, right? Because it be right up in the mix. All this shit is our shit. This is what we do, right? As indigenous folk or black folk, whatever you want to call yourself, right? I'm trying to bring my perception because I don't know y'all too well. I ain't been around y'all in a minute. Now, they angry, right? Now, they angry because motherfuckers is dying. Which, y'all know that, right? That ain't nothing new, but niggas is dying in weird ways, right? Now, niggas is dying back to back to back. You know, we done had uh a young man die, kind of young. Two uncles died, grandma died. All of this back to back, right? Now it's something weird because some of the individuals that I think are involved with this, one of their parents died, right? The father, right? Now, my thing is, I'm like, that doesn't happen at random. It doesn't just happen at random. You know what I'm saying? They all seem like random deaths. But see, when you play with this type of stuff, this spell work stuff and all of that stuff, right? It can happen like that. Or you can end up in the hospital and, you know, you got something wrong with you, but the doctors can't figure it out. They can't figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Those are signs of spell work and shit, right? Now, I do believe, I'm just going off of what I know. And I've been in a battle with these motherfuckers, right? The ancestors, right? Yeah. They gonna always be a part of this ancestral bloodline, right? That I'm a part of. And regardless of what you think of family, that is what it is. So family is family and shit. But I don't fuck with some of y'all, right? So I'm gonna go on this story and I'm gonna explain it in a way, right? Cause I'm gonna have to talk deep in onto some shit. Now it's involving a sibling. It's involving a sibling. Now this sibling though, right? It was weird. It was weird because this journey started. I remember this sibling coming to my going away party and shit, right? And it was weird because I never really messed with you like that, you know. It was weird. It was weird. It's weird now. It wasn't weird then, but it caught my mind. I'm like, why you reaching out now, right? And now my going away party, I wasn't going to prison. This shit, I was going in the military. Never been in prison. Now, fast forward. I come back. Some stuff happens, right? And I'm like, yo, I come back. I'm on a good one. Now, certain events would happen, though. I'm like, yo, to a point where I was like, all right, like certain shit would happen. And then every time some shit would happen, this sibling would be involved somehow. This is another sign of spell work, rather because they might not be aware. You know what I'm saying? It's just how energy works. Something will happen and then they'll call you. Something will happen, then they'll pop up. Something will happen and then, this person was asking about you. Or right before something happens and shit, right? You know what I'm saying? I didn't have like random ass arrests and shit. Times where I was doing shit, but I'm like, it's weird that I got caught up, right? And then it was like, you know, I've been arrested I'm like, bro, I'm not even doing shit, right? Now I'm like, okay, that shit like fucking, just different shit fucking with plans, money, different shit like that, right? Now, this ain't about me. So I'm just trying to explain because all I know is certain shit that's been done, right? Like this sibling, you know, these are signs of spell work, right? That's signs of spell work. Now, this sibling as well, well, it's her, right? Now, Then asked me, I got back. Then asked me for I'm up on a lot of stuff. I don't mess with this stuff, right? I was doing protection spell work and shit at one point because I started being aware of this stuff, and you know what I'm saying, about, you know, whatever going on. I didn't seen a spirit demon that have been sent my way. I've seen demons before. I've had these experiences before all of that, right? Y'all don't know this about me. They don't either. I don't broadcast it. I don't do it. I don't even. But I tap into like spirituality. Now, my thing is like I done had this sibling ask me for a hat, right, and it had my name on it, right. My hat had Dirty Red on the side and shit. Which this sibling don't wear hats and shit. But I'm like, alright, you want the hat and shit. I'm like, here, because I need to get another one anyway. You know, coming, oh, that's tight. Let me have that. I'm like, alright, maybe you want something of mine, whatever. I'm not, you know, stupid now, but I'm like, alright, not thinking nothing of it. I'm like, I'm going to get another one. Now, this is signs of spell work as well, because people could do spell work, which especially if you have your name engraved on something that you put your energy into, you know what I'm saying? Do a lot with that. Now, as well, then asked me for my semen. Well, y'all gonna know who I'm talking about, right? Y'all gonna know who I'm talking about, right? Asked me something for my semen, which was weird, right? Cause why? But I'm like, she a dyke, right? She gay. So I'm like, alright. So she got a boyfriend, they trying to get pregnant. I'm like, I'm like, you know, but you know, make it sound good. Well, you know, I wanted to look like us, you know what I'm saying? And also, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to look like us. I wanted to be you know what I'm saying, like I wanted to have our features and stuff like that, right? It's stuff like that. I'm like, fucked up there again. Made it sound we had talks. I'm like sitting down. I'm like, yo, because I don't have no kids. And I'm like, all right, I definitely want to be involved. But then I'm like, all right, if it ain't going to be stupid. So I'm like, all right, it ain't gonna get it from me. I'm like, all right, sitting down like, yo, you got to, all right, it's going to ask questions. We'll do all this stuff, right? We hashing it down. I'm like, all right, you know, she ended up convincing me, right? I'm like, it makes sense. And so with that as well, this sibling, the girl that she with, she got a sister, right? This is another thing. They would always try to put females on me. But I don't deal with the type of females that they be around, right? So, and they know this. So I'm like, I see how they would try to send certain one, right? Now, I ain't never. It's one, right? You know, we had a little interaction, right? But this one was very distant. My point with that is they tried to link me with her sister. I'm saying all that to say this is how they get down to, like, you know what I'm saying, to try to like get into your energy and stuff, right? Because you know what I'm saying, after a while, even though I stopped coming around, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, bro, I'm just not here for the BS, right? And so, you know, they'll find reasons to get around you, right? Or to like play in your face and shit. You know what I'm saying? Manipulation tactics and shit. Or now you might need help with this because, you know, I don't want to just hang out. Or now you might, you know what I'm saying, this, that, or the other and shit, right? And you know I'm going to say yes. So I'm like, all right. I say that to say, going back to the sister. The sister, this bitch would always try to cook me food and shit, right? Well, she'll be cooking, right? Now we know about like a lot of people know about like the period blood and the spaghetti and all that. But I'm like, she would like cook stuff like, it don't gotta be spaghetti though. But she would always try to get, she like these wings, cause motherfuckers know I love wings and shit, right? Now I'm like, bro, and I'm like, all right, cause I will always try to push it off and stuff. If I go, I'm like, I still don't know you that well, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm at somebody's crib, I don't know, and I'm like, I'm not trying to You know what I'm saying? More for everybody else. I'm good. I'm straight. I ate. I just came to kick it, chill. You know what I'm saying? Vibe and be in company. You know what I'm saying? But she would push so hard for me to eat this food, right? That's another thing, right? I'm probably forgetting some stuff. I'm saying all this to say, you know what I'm saying? I'm just giving, this is all stuff that you can use for spell work that's very powerful, right? Now, it's all type of different type of spell work and shit, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they just play with stuff. Because the way they get down, I feel like they pay for it as well. Because the way that they get down, they be in people's faces. They use people. You know what I'm saying? They do this type of stuff, right? Um Now, something's going on with the ancestors that got them mad, right? And I thought that we was like, all right, I'm thinking I could go deeper in on it, right? But what it was going on with I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. I stopped hanging out with them. They found a reason to get me to come back around, right? Uh, Another sibling had got out, and I'm like, all right, I ain't been around him in forever, but I'm like, all right, they're like, all right, you should come because I'm like, all right, I'll come back around. Came back around for a little bit. Motherfucker started acting weird or some weird shit. Nigga hung up on my face, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? Never talked to that nigga again. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? But I'm like, the shit was so weird. The nigga act all emotional when he come out, like, oh shit, my, you know what I'm saying, my sibling and shit. I'm like, what's up, nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't had many interactions, like, just, I'm like, all right, so motherfucker, I know it's talking behind the scenes now. This other sibling I got out, right? I don't know if I want to put. Well, that nigga got like a good. I heard her talking about this, right? I think it was at a funeral. One of the funerals that I was talking about, one of the ones that died, right? To some in the front of the house, right? And she's talking about some, you know, something that he came up on, some money he came up on, right? Now, if you, I don't know who know, I ain't trying to put people business out there, right? I don't know who know what. I know y'all doing iffy stuff behind the scenes, and there's some of y'all that I don't fuck with that I know. You know what I'm saying? When y'all don't know how deep involved that they might try to get you into some stuff. You know what I'm saying? They lie, they manipulate. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm like, whatever you said, I'm like, I'm assuming you said something to make this. I'm like, how you go from acting like that to doing that weird shit? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right. I was like, fuck it. I don't give a fuck, right? I really be to myself, I don't give a fuck. I don't see, this is why I was coming the way I was coming at first, right? But this is just, I'm getting this video out, right? I'm like, okay, she talking about this money he got, right? Or so coming in and shit, right? How he got it coming in, and she like, all right, he talking about doing this for the homies. He talking about, I just overhear it because I'm walking by and shit, right? And she talking to two other relatives in the front yard. Now, she talking like, and it ain't, you know, it ain't like I want nothing and stuff, but uh, she like, yeah, but I just, you know, he got a son, he got this, you know, he got all this stuff, right? I'm like, in my head, I'm already knowing how you get down. I'm like, why you even worried about this nigga pockets and shit walking by? I don't think too much of it and shit, because like I said, I been got distant. I don't even fuck with none of them like that. I was there for the little funeral thing, right? I'm like, I don't fuck with them at all, right? But I'm like, all right. Um, I'm like, it just always stuck to me though, cause I know how she is, and she done did. I'm like, yo ass is like, I'm like, you worried about the money and shit, right? You worried about the money, you worried about this, that, or the other. Now, I can assume that she sent this nigga money. I just sent this nigga money while I was in prison, right? She would do some shit to where I'd be like wanting to visit, I'd be wanting to do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, she like to seem like she the one when she really bounce off of everybody else and shit. But the way that she move around. She try to act like she up on shit before other people. You know what I'm saying? It could be a business idea. It could be anything, right? It could be a style. It could be anything, right? It could be music. It could be. This is how she is, right? Now, my thing is like, all right, you did that shit. yo, you said that, and I'm like, okay. I remember her telling me, I'm like, I was about to send something and to him in prison some money and shit. And she was like, all right, like, she like, well, don't, like, trying to put, like, well, he be lying. Like, he don't need, like, whatever the fuck. And I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Right? I don't fucking care. God, I'm like, if I'm out of, like, I don't care. All right. It was over something stupid. I'm like, whatever the fuck you do, that's on you. But I'm like, she done did that before with one of the younger siblings. I used to pick this nigga up from school every day at one point, right? Now, but she would be like, don't be spending you better when you picking this nigga up for free, you better tell that nigga to put some money in your pocket. So I'm like, this nigga's in high school. Right? But she would do like little shit, right? Because I feel like she was trying to make me seem, because she would say certain shit in front of people that's like, all right, making it seem like, cause I didn't send her money before too. I don't ask people for money. I'm like, if she's ever said that, she's a fucking lie. She just said some shit to make it seem like, you know what I'm saying, shit like, all right. Like, she try to make it seem like she do more than she do. She want to be that one and shit, right? And I'm like, all right, this is how she get down, right? Now, I'm saying all that to say that whatever the fuck, this is the last time I ever interacted with any of them. When I heard her say that shit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't know what people got going on and shit. And that's the only reason why I know about what that nigga had coming in, because I overheard that, right? And I'm like, all right, but I catch little stuff. And I catch it for a reason, right? And I'm like, all right, so whatever you got going on behind the scenes, and when a lot of the people started dying, right? In this family dynamic, that don't just happen like that. You was doing something weird behind the scenes, and I know that you was coming at me. You know what I'm saying? Cause certain stuff would happen in weird ways. It would. But when I got away and distant, you know what I'm saying? Opportunities stopped falling through the cracks and stuff. And I was straight. Like I was able to like like certain stuff was coming to me, and then like you go to jail and all type of stuff. I'm seeing stuff because I'm still on social media and shit. I'm like, all right. I'm just piecing it together and shit, right? Because I'm like, it just seemed like the other way around for the longest. And then as soon as I'm like, and I was still clearing you out my energy, and I could tell people were sending stuff, right? It was even at one point, I even told her, because I got a sign, I overheard some female talking about at work one time, talking about how her best friend was doing spell work on her ex and stuff, right? And the way that she told the story, I even brought it to her attention, right? That's it. And I'm like, all right. But I was like, yo, I think my ex doing spell work on me, right? I think my ex doing so. And I'm not even as aware of this shit, but I'm like just hearing her say that at this time, like I've always been into spiritual stuff, but I ain't never even read up on spell work or no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm open to a lot of stuff, to meaning like I believe a lot of stuff that like the masses, they don't want the masses to believe a lot, right? I'm just saying that. So when I said that, I'm like, the way her mind worked, she probably thought like, oh, this nigga stupid. Instead of thinking like, oh, he might be on to something, she the type like thinks she's smarter than everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because it worked. And the way that she a good manipulator, so she play a lot of good, like them getting away with stuff make their head feel good. It pump them up. Now there's other people involved. I know that because they don't rock alone and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they get people involved on levels, and they'll manipulate them. They'll lie, stuff like that, to get like people to side one way, or like split groups, split dynamic groups and shit. Right? They do shit like that. Now, whatever y'all doing, got the ancestors pissed off and shit. Right? They got them pissed off. And people was dying over this shit, definitely. I know that. I don't know exactly what y'all doing though. But I know that y'all play with that type of shit though. I know how y'all was coming at me. So I know what y'all do. I know what you might do. I know what you definitely do because I see the shit happening around y'all. All right? I don't really know what more to say about this because I really don't know what the fuck going on behind the scenes and shit, right? I don't know what exactly was done. I know y'all wouldn't be shy of playing with no death magic, with no money, like messing with people's money, playing it. The same shit, manipulation shit that y'all do in real life and shit. And y'all use people. I know y'all do that. Y'all don't do shit for yourself. Usually it's something y'all either get, even if it's an idea, y'all get it from somewhere if y'all do it yourself, right? Now, I'm trying to think of what else to say, right?